Hello there, and welcome to 10 tips and tricks for a good start in Caves of QUD. In this video, I have summarized all the things that I could come up with to give you a good basic understanding of the things that make you survive longer and give you more fun about the game without being too spoiler heavy, because I find that very, very important. So let's get started with number one. A very, very obvious but often ignored thing, also by myself, is the fact that we're playing a roguelike. And that means we don't need to kill everything. By all means, this game often even punishes you for doing exactly that. You can look at every entity in the game and you see here a danger rating. Everything that is tough or harder should be always thought about twice if you want to fight it, especially if you don't have a clue what it is. The descriptions of the creatures in this game are often a little bit, well, non-descriptive, so it's often an option to just run and live for another day. This also includes running away when your HP are dropping below 50% or something like that. You don't need to kill everything. This game is really not meant like that. The number two I want to talk about is movement speed and mobility. Skills and implants are massively overpowered. As you see here, this character is running around with a movement speed of 260. I'm running on multiple legs, hardcore. This is a really, really nice starter mutation because the game offers you, via sprinting, a system that gives you already an option to give yourself a speed burst to maneuver yourself out of crappy situations, but giving yourself just a baseline higher movement speed is really good for understanding the game's icky situations and getting out of there, even if you outplayed yourself. The same thing happens to the teleport mutation, which is also really, really good. Basically everything that is involving moving yourself, moving other people, impeding other people's movement, all these things are really good power cards to survive longer, as long as you remember to run away when the time comes. Number three that I want to talk about, whether your character is a melee or a ranged character, you should always have the other option available. My character here is mainly a sword fighter, but I also run around with a rifle in my back, because there are just so many enemies that you don't want to touch with your valuable weapon, kudzu for example, so it really comes in handy to just pelt them with those slugs. Best part about it is, as you see there, ammunition in this game is mostly weight neutral, so you really don't need to worry about that. And just a low amount of agility or strength is already enough to swing that weapon, shoot that rifle sufficiently enough to get yourself an advantage, because you can either save yourself some ammo, or you can get some shots in before the enemy is on top of you. Either way, you benefit from it. And ammo is really not costly in this game. This is something I really want to stress out here as well. Number four I want to talk about is cooking. The cooking and gathering tree is a real nice money earner. If you just go for butchery, harvestry, you can learn for free in Joppa when you ask the people nicely enough. Add on top of that leave it at butchery level, and you can just process stuff from the enemies into money. You can then also learn Spicer and Carbide Chef to boost yourself better with food. I strongly recommend that because food is strong and easy to come by, and the buffs last really, really long. But if you don't want to, butchery and harvestry are, I think, a must-have because it earns you so flippin' much money. Next up, number five, I want to talk about tinkering. So, tinkering is a skill that I personally would recommend to learn for every character up to a certain extent, namely gadget inspection and scavenging. From that point on, decide for yourself whether you want to craft items yourself or you want to sell these parts off for nice cash, because you don't need to craft items at all. There are more than enough traders in the game that allow you to buy your way through the game, but you can also just disassemble everything and tinker the stuff by yourself. The thing is, if your character isn't intelligence heavy, I would recommend to stay on the disassembly and scavenging part, earn money and buy the stuff instead of trying too hard to build it yourself, but you decide for yourself. Either way, tinkering should be learned at some degree, at least for the disassembly and scavenging part, because here again you get so much extra money out of the environment for just a few skill points. Number 6, armor matters so much. So when you're new to the game, I would strongly recommend to stick to armor rating. That's the blue crystal icon. The black circle thing is evasion, which is also an option to keep yourself alive, but I would recommend when you are newer to the game, it's much easier to just stand there and soak the damage rather than thinking about what to do when a stray bullet breaches your high agility. Either way, armor matters, so whenever you can buy yourself some good piece of armor that has a decent amount of armor rating, go for it. It'll help you so much to stay alive, because every layer of armor that you can get yourself lowers the amount of damage that the enemy can potentially do to you, rendering some encounters virtually harmless. Since the moment my character has that steel plate mail and other steel parts, I was able to kill things that plucked me apart before, and now it's just chilly breezing. So really, I can't stress it out enough. Upgrading yourself layer-wise with the armor is so important. Number 7, the Joppa quest line. You see, I would always recommend to start in Joppa unless you know why you wouldn't want to, because of two reasons. First off, you have a couple of good traders here, but the second part is here, this wonderful young gentleman here, Argive. This guy's quest line rewards you with a item which allows you to teleport back to Joppa at will. This is enabling you to use this little village as your base of operations. Here, right next to that, I have started to deposit things that I want to keep. I'm using this village now as my storage, so because you can teleport back to there. And it's really, really nice and helps you to manage all that clutter that eventually comes up. Number 8, specialize into one form of combat, be it melee, ranged, or magic, but specialize you should, because the enemy's combat power is ever growing and the late game has quite some insane things, so you can't afford to be half cooked when it comes down to that. Decide for yourself which weaponry skill tree tickles your fancy, get yourself the best possible weapons out of that. You know, the secondary things, like the rifle that I've been talking about, I'm not trying to get the best rifle here or the best ammo, because my character's a melee dude. So I'm trying to get this on the top-notch level and the skills at the highest level to get myself some survivability when the worst comes. And this is really, really important with games like these. Number 9, bring some utility mutations or implants when you're playing the Truekin. Here, for example, I went for corrosive gas generation, which is, for one, a damage skill, but it also destroys environment around me. So whenever I can pass through somewhere, I can melt down walls. You can check out various ways of utility, but it really, really is important that you develop a sense for how massively beneficial it can be to manipulate the environment to your own benefits and all that, because your human brain is the strongest weapon against the monsters out there, and having mutations that allow you to play creatively around problems are really, really massive. In this regard here, I went for not so creative things. It's just a way around locked doors, and it works a charm. But what I'm trying to come down to is try to implement some creative skills in between that you pick on up to resolve situations that screwed you on over the last time. It really helps you on out. And number 10, keep experimenting. This game will kill you a lot. There's so many nasty surprises out there, and the creatures in this game are really, really fantastic and horrific at the same time. You can, of course, if you don't want to play roguelike, also play the roleplay game mode, where you get checkpoint saves in the last village that you visited, which is a excellent way if the frustration of starting out new is too much for you. Personally, I'm an old school roguelike lover, and when you play it with permadeath, it always gives you the option to try out a new build, try out a new combination of things, and that is really, really cool. And I would always recommend you to stay open for new ideas. Look what the enemy does, because many skills of the enemy are available for use for yourself too when you're generating a character. So that's that. And as a last and silent number 11, so to speak, up here, here's a lot of traders. If you're looking for a place to shop, travel up there. Make it up there alive, though. That's a hot pot. But I wanted to give that as a heads up for everybody looking for orientation where you can do big trading. Now then, I hope these 10/11 things help you out. Let me know in the comment section what you want to know more about, or add in whatever good tips for the start you have for other people. Mind you, I like spoiler-free things, so let's keep it in that tone. Thanks a lot for watching. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Consider subscribing, and in the description box you'll find plenty of links. Also, feel free to support this channel. If my work would be worth a dime to you, it would really mean a lot to me. And thanks yet again to all of these wonderful people supporting the channel, and thanks to you for watching this video up until the very end. Enjoy, and see you soon.